The first victim is Molly Smith. She passed December 30th, 1884, believed to be around age 26 to 27. Eliza Shealy. She passed May 6, 1885, believed to be age 27 to 28. Irene Cross. She passed May 23rd, 1885, believed to be around 38. Mary Ramey. She passed August 29th, 1885, believed to be around age 10 to 11. Gracie Vance. She passed September 27th, 1885, believed to be age 19 to 20. Susan Hancock. She passed December 24th, 1885. Some reports say it might have been closer to December 28th because of when she was found. She was age 44. Eula Phillips. She passed December 24th, 1885, age 17.
This week we're taking you to Austin, Texas to speak to the 7 victims of the Servant Girl Annihilator. Now y'all, this is a sad, sad story. Might be a heavy one, but don't worry, we're going to get through it together. And then there's always light at the end of the tunnel, y'all. So, Kels, tell us a little bit more about this sad, sad case.
Murders took place from 1884 to 1885. There were 7 women in total that were murdered. 5 out of the 7 were considered to be servants.
Okay, so they think like it was the same killer, the same person?
They do think it was the same killer because all of the women were found in a similar position, and 6 out of the 7 women had a sharp object that was inserted into their ears that they were found with.
Oh, so that's kind of, they think that's what makes them think it's the same person. So, did anybody see anything, like maybe a description or who done it? Any witnesses or anything like that?
So, the witnesses all had various reports. Some reported him as a tall black male. Others said that he was light-skinned. Some of the reports said that it was a man that dressed up as a woman. In other reports, too, it said that there was voodoo involved because he would just disappear before them. A few of the family members of the girls that were murdered did try to intervene and stop the attack. And they didn't really see much except for the back of the person. And you have to remember that this was back in the late 1800s, so there wasn't really electricity or a lot of light. So that kind of played into why it was so dark and why they didn't really see as much, since all of these did take place in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and like you were telling me earlier, the main witness got injuries that she actually lived many years with and then passed away because of. So, yeah, that's a rough one. Okay, so after that, the last victim was murdered. Was there ever any more, accounts of someone being found like that, objects in the ears, things like that?
No, there wasn't any more accounts after that. The Austin police did interview over 400 suspects, but did not identify a single person. In the last case of Eula Phillips, her husband, second husband, was arrested and convicted for her murder, but then was later acquitted. He was the only one that was actually charged in relation to any of the cases.
Oh, wow. Okay. Whew. That's sad. I automatically thought maybe due to the time period it might be racially motivated, but it doesn't seem to be because the 2 of the ladies were Caucasian.
Yes. So 5 of the victims were considered to be either black or the term they used at the time was mulatto. And then the last 2 victims were Caucasian.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know. That makes it tricky. So you're talking about the 1800s and no DNA, nothing of what we have today. So okay.
Something interesting in this case is around 2014, PBS did a special on this case, and they had identified a suspect that they thought could possibly be involved with this case, and the way that they matched it up is based on a bloody footprint that they had from evidence, but that's the only information they had. So he's never actually been convicted of the crimes.
Wow. Yeah, I know there's some wild speculations. I even think at one point they mentioned Jack the Ripper because he was popular at that time?
Yes, and they had thought that he possibly took a steamboat from London all the way to Texas, committed these murders, and went back. But he, of course, did not fit the many descriptions of the killer.
Wow. Yeah. So the investigators are it's a wild goose chase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump into the video, Kels, and let's see what they got to say.
Miss Rebecca, we are starting at your headstone because we know that you were also traumatized from this, that you were attacked and had survived, but you lost your precious baby girl during this. So we would like to start with talking to your little girl, Miss Mary, and you are welcome to chime in as we ask these questions because there are so many victims we're trying to talk with. We have 4 questions that we're just going to go through, and we're going to ask each girl those questions. We will try to listen to your response today, but we're not going to hear everything with all the distractions going on. So we're going to go back and listen to it, but your voice won't go unheard. We will edit it and listen to everything that's said.
Yes. All right, y'all. We are here at the mother of Mary Ramey's headstone, one of the victims. This is Miss Rebecca Ramey. Ma'am, we wanna come and see if we have permission to speak to you and your daughter. We understand your daughter, her life was unfortunately cut short on a very sad, heinous night, ma'am. And you were also injured. Injuries that you never healed from, injuries that you had until you passed and began a new eternal life with your daughter, ma'am. And I hate that you had to live your life that way. I'm sure there was a lot of grief and sadness there, but our goal is to make sure not only you have peace, ma'am, and that your daughter has peace, but all the other girls that are connected to this heinous crime and case have peace as well. And that's all we do. We're not here to make anybody upset and have any darkness or heaviness brought upon today. We just come for peace and light and love, and we just want to check on you, ma'am. We want to make sure y'all are in peace, you're free. It's kind of hectic because there's unfortunately seven ladies that were involved in this case, and we want to make sure they're all in peace. So we're going to start here, and what we'll do, if you don't mind, Miss Rebecca, is because they don't have headstones, not everybody, if we could invite the ones that don't over, and what we'll do is do it one by one, ma'am. We'll call their name over. We'll ask them the same 3 questions, general questions, just to kind of check on their peace and make sure they're okay. So before we get started, do we have permission to do that, Miss Rebecca?
Hello. Here.
Did you say we do, ma'am? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Gosh, that's incredible. So, Kelsey, you want to start this off?
Yes. So, Miss Rebecca and Miss Mary, we would like to know, are you resting peacefully? And if not, how can we help you?
I think those parents. What I
All right, Kelsey. Pretty sure I heard yes. We are in peace. And So that brings me to my next question, ma'am. Is there anything from that night, to Miss Mary or Miss Rebecca, because you both were there? Is there anything from that night that maybe you would like people to know about? Anything that happened that you want to share?
I just especially the I'm and so and there's some steps the can't also get I was after I won't ever what I'm not just we so like remember you keep hurting story and the click about close to that what do you family
All right, man. And I heard some things. I don't want to say anything yet because I don't want to get anything wrong. And this is a very sensitive, well, it's a sensitive case. It's a sensitive subject and conversation. And we just want to put it in the most positive and best light and try to get as accurate as we can, ma'am. So we're not going to ask a whole lot of questions because there are so many victims, unfortunately.
And we want to make sure that everyone's voice is heard.
I want you to know that we do go back and we do hear your voices, your conversations. So if we don't catch it right away, your voice, your name, your story, what you share, man, will not go unheard. And that goes for anybody that shares anything today.
Yes.
All right.
So Miss Rebecca, Miss Mary, our last question before we move on is, do you have a message you want to share with those that might be listening to this conversation?
they're terrible just about the I spelt it so on me
Walter, okay, sir?
she said about and something west with the I like that straw yes takes the up and so that
All right. All right. Miss Rebecca and Mary, thank you so much for letting us come over here to Miss Rebecca's headstone and just kind of be a point of contact. There's no other headstones on this side, ma'am, and this is probably the most point of contact we could get since there's no headstone. It kind of feels right to pay respect to all the ladies on this side over here that don't have headstones. Pay respects right here at your headstone.
So thank you for allowing us to do that.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. All right. Well, Kelsey, do you want to call over someone that we have that we want to speak with?
Yes, so we would like to ask Miss Molly Smith if you could come over and join the conversation. We just invite you over, and we'd like to go through the same questions with you. So first, to get us started, Miss Molly, we'd like to know, do we have permission?
How we were moved.
Are you here, Miss Molly?
Not even
Okay. I did hear she's waiting or something, I believe. So, okay. Well, good. Well, I got a question for you, Molly. We want to make sure this is our mission right here. This is what we came for, ma'am. Most of all, we want to make sure you have peace. So, Molly, are you resting in peace? And if not, how can we help you?
Tara. Doing just weird. We saw one of the this photo. Please. Is upset. I'm gonna get. No one be no. That was late. Get it? No.
All right. So I heard terror right away. So we want you to know that we are going to pray, and we're going to pray for your peace. Before we leave, we're going to pray a peace over everybody that was involved and everybody around us, really. But we want you to know that. So we did hear terror, and that's the reason we came. Just to make sure you're resting in peace, ma'am. So we're going to do that. But Kels, you want to ask the next question?
Yes, so Miss Molly, this might be a little bit hard, but we would like to know, is there anything from that night that you would like to get out? Anything that you want to share from that tragic night that occurred?
All right.
He said, "Oh, God, your well, so from my way that summer like when
All right, Kels. All right. And is there a message that you want to share before we speak to the next young lady?
Great. No, like
Walter, are we okay, sir?
and that down here is get to it, and you can put about
All right. Well, Molly, thank you so much for speaking to us. Thank you for trusting us, and we hope you was at least able to get some things out that you wanted to get out. I wish we could spend longer with each person, but we can't do that. But at least we can do it like this, and at least check on your peace. So thank you so much for speaking to us. Kelsey, you want to go ahead and ask the next lady to step through?
Yes, so now we'd like to ask Miss Eliza Shelley. If you could step forward, we'd like to talk with you. And just like before, we're going to start off with to see if we have permission. So Miss Eliza, do we have permission to speak with you?
I want it.
I heard that right away. All right. I heard that right away. Okay, so then my next question: are you resting in peace? And if not, ma'am, how can we help you?
Let get in. Just go. Everything is what you last. I would be hurt. There.
All right, Kelson. Ma'am, just know before we leave, like we said to earlier, we are going to pray peace over every single one of you. If you need peace, we're going to do that. So please know, stay around us because we are going to pray peace over you.
Yes.
All right, Kelsey, you want to ask the next question?
Yes, so Miss Eliza, is there anything from that night you would like to share with us? Anything that you need to get out from what happened on that tragic night?
On me. And like round. Simply. And then get lost. Our dog. We try. Again. Except be you're like
Kelsey. All right, but real quick before I ask the next question, I want to note we do hear Stephen Thomas. When you hear, "Hey, buddy," that's Stephen Thomas. He comes. He's a helper, and he usually tags along where we go. So we want you to know that if you see or hear a little boy, that's Stephen Thomas, and that's how we know it's him, because he always says, "Hey, buddy." That's our secret code. It's not really a secret because everybody knows it now, but I wanted to address that. So ma'am, my last question. Is there a message? Do you have a message that you want the world to hear? Something that you want to get off your chest? It could be encouragement. It could be a word for a loved one, or just anything you want to share. We want to give you that platform to do so right now. So do you have anything, ma'am?
From our great in a find a sister. Like me. Walking. I'm good. That must around. Sounded. I won't go. Still. Some Bill.
Bill, we okay, sir?
Must that run. Let me let me good. What else to me?
All right, Kels. Well, ma'am, thank you so much for speaking to us. We just pray that you rest in peace and rest in light, along with everyone else we've spoke to so far. And we got a few more actually we're going to speak to. So, Kels, you want to call forward the next lady?
Yes.